So the army issued a warning about the Joker film that they think there's going to be a mass shooting. That's pretty weird to put that out there.
It is not weird because I get why they did that, and it's a psyop.
I think they want there to be one.
Yeah, actually, yes, and it happened because weeks ago there was a couple of articles by nobodies. I mean, these people were nobodies. I'm starting to think these people who write these articles might work for the government. You know, like Operation Mockingbird. You know, because a couple of people who are nobodies, never heard of them, never read one article, but suddenly what they wrote became like a sensation. It's all over the Twitter verse and Facebook and whatever. They said that from the because they watched the trailer or some sort of preview, the Joker looks like a hero for the alt-right, and so they're ginning up the system. So if anything happens, they can blame the alt-right for being terrorists or some shit like that, you know? So the Joker, apparently, for whatever reason, even though he has nothing to do with politics, because it's a revenge fantasy, he's taken out. And I didn't even see the movie. I don't even know if it's going to be a revenge fantasy. All this shit could be in his head. You know, maybe he's never been disrespected or whatever. But it's from what it looks like, the Joker is a version of that movie with Michael Douglas from, I think it was the 90s, called Falling Down. You ever remember seeing that?
I heard of it. I never watched it.
I saw it once, I think, on cable TV. Once. Apparently, he's a guy, he's a middle manager type. He has a crew cut. Life isn't going so well for him. He's about to lose his job as a defense contractor. He's going to be homeless. You know, the American dream didn't turn out good for him.
What about Milton from Office Space? The guy who's like, I'm going to burn the building down. How come people didn't all go crazy trying to be that guy?
Yeah. You know, it's a Milton. It's falling down.
The guy who's like, they're taking a stapler away.
Yeah. Same sort of. No. Dude, it's the same sort of setup. I mean, Falling Down was pretty much Milton, but with a crew cut. And he was walking around L.A. with a briefcase. And he's getting some guys try to mug him and he shoots them, shit like that. And people are afraid he's going to steal.
So he's like an anti-hero. Well, that's like that movie Taxi Driver, which that's one of my favorite movies. I don't like Robert De Niro anymore as a person. I mean, he was a good actor back in the day. He hasn't done a good movie in a long time. But Taxi Driver is a weird movie because he seemed like it's very dark. It seems like he's kind of a bad guy. He wants to assassinate some politician or something, and then he turns around and he kills some thugs or something, and he's sort of a good guy. But it's a real weird movie. It's very dark.
You know, not to get off on a tangent, but in the 1970s, there was a lot of movies like that took that kind of made the world look upside down. I don't know if that was because it was the 70s.
Well, because of a lot of things turned upside down because of like the counterculture movement in the 60s. And then there were a lot of like anti-heroes where normally it's not like the standard hero is like Superman or something, and he's always good and he's always doing the right thing. Anti-hero means it's like he should sort of be a villain, but then you kind of relate to him.
Well, you know, a lot of people said that ended, that sort of trend in Hollywood ended with the Superman 2 movie. Because you had Superman fly the flag in front of the, you know, after the aliens messed up the White House and the Oval Office, Superman put the roof back on with the American flag and says, you know, I'm sorry this happened and shit. So a lot of people say that was the turning point when Hollywood in the 80s went away from this weird shit that was happening in the 70s.
Well, I mean, there might be some, you know, counter examples because there's so much content, but in general. Yeah. I use Superman as an example because he's kind of a goody two-shoes.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying. I went on a tangent. I apologize, but you're totally right.
Like Batman is, you know, except for the '60s version, but the more gritty version. I mean, he's a little bit edgy.
Hey Ash,
but he's still a hero.
Hey Ash, thanks for joining, man. We appreciate it.
Hi
Ash. My point is, the Joker. The only difference it looks like. The only thing I can point to is the taxi driver, the character of the taxi driver that Robert De Niro played. He was like a creep. Remember, he wanted to take a girl to a porno movie,
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Well, that was like an incel move or something. That's like a guy who has no social skills. He's like, it's the first date. I'm gonna take her to a porno theater. That's actually funny.
It's hilarious, but he's like the first incel if you think about it, right? He gets attracted to a hooker, and he becomes infatuated.
and he turns down Jodie Foster because she's like 12, which is how you know it's not real life. Because in real life, he'd probably say yes.
Yeah, exactly. or he couldn't get it up. And he uses the violence as a way to, there's a lot of interpretations on it, but basically,
I think that was hilarious when he took her to the porno theater. It should have been like, and then remember when he was in Cape Fear laughing in the theater really loud? He was watching Problem Child.
I forgot about that. I forgot that. Was that what he was watching?
Yeah. With John Ritter. Yeah, that's what he was watching, and when he was laughing, like at the top of his lungs, everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
I remember the laughing. I didn't remember what movie he was watching. I got to watch that again. That's hilarious. But so anyway, Ash. I don't know when Ash joined us, but Ash. Lenin brings up that Joker is the government, the army of all fucking things. Why the army? Why not the FBI? It was the army, wasn't it?
It was the army.
That's a weird shit that I hear. The army is not supposed to get involved in domestic politics. It's supposed to be the FBI.
Neither is the
CIA. yeah. But I'm saying is, when I see the army, I get a little MK Ultra worried. You know what I mean? But the army
it's weird.
It is weird. It should come from the FBI.
It should come from the fake news media.
Yeah. Well, somebody should generate. Let's say that it was.
They were already saying the fake news media was saying it first. They were getting the idea out there.
Well, and then I turned it around and said, what if this is an Operation Mockingbird, where the people in the media did this on purpose because the spooks told them to do it, and then they could comment on it. And then are they trying to set shit up? Are they trying to make something happen? Because there's no indication that the movie The Joker, which I was saying is like any other movie that was done in the past. Taxi Driver this movie is a ripoff of the Taxi Driver in a way. He's somebody who's abused, and then he takes revenge out on people, which is not exactly.
I just saw like a clip of it, and it just seems like one of those. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched the movie. It seems like one of those dark sort of like good movies from like the 70s or something. But you can't even make a good movie anymore.
No. Well, apparently, again, all I can go is from the trailer. He looks like somebody who's a loser.
Wait, what if everybody wanted to be Jack Nicholson when he was the Joker?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson's charismatic. Everybody wants to be Jack Nicholson, right? Or they want to have an axe and try and kill everybody like The Shining.
Which is...
You can't even make a movie... you can't even do it anymore. It's like, no, we have to have like a one-dimensional villain, except he has to be PC at the same time. And it's all bullshit.